Alright, what is poppin' with it? We are back. And yeah, I took a few days off. You know what? I'm entitled to a few days off every now and again, you know? Look, the tier, there's a lot to take in still. There's a lot to understand, a lot of new Pokemon, a lot of new things that I gotta try to comprehend. And at times it's overwhelming. Alright, let me rephrase that. At times it's just like tiring where I'm just like, I look at everything, I'm just like, wow, I don't want to use any of this. There's too much. It's like at the same time I want to use everything that's new, but at the same time I don't want to use any of it because I'm like, oh my lord, how do I decide? Anyhow, we figured out something I wanted to use. And yeah, it's just really boring balance. But I figure balance isn't a bad way to learn a new tier, right? I mean, I've used a lot of balance throughout my life. I figure, you know what? Let's use some more. And so, obviously in our unbanned wave, we got Little Duck right here, PORYGON2, and this model's really good. I think it's one of the best additions to the tier, both just in terms of like how good it is, but also in terms of what it does for the tier. So, PORYGON2, for those that don't know, it's a bulky motherfucker. And it's got a really diverse amount of like move options that it can go for, which both gives it the advantage of being kind of annoying to switch into if you want to go download and have, you know, maybe 2 attacks, or just really good utility wise if you want to go like mono attack with Trace and then just load up on the utility. You get options like teleport, toxic, recover, ice beam, thunderbolt, tri attack. It has a lot that it can do. But on this team, or I guess even on just this, well, yeah, I built the team around P2. I wanted to try Port, and I'll start getting the game. I think Spadef P2 is just a really nice addition for the tier to have, especially given that we unbanned things like, you know, Alolan Eggy, Drampa, Mesprit's a new addition to the tier. There are a lot of Pokemon that PORYGON2 is capable of handling pretty reliably defensively. You do want to avoid the knockoffs and the toxics, and I think those are probably the 2 biggest reasons that I feel PORYGON2 won't get banned. I think both of those moves are very common. Also, my opponent, he has the sun. But I think those kinds of moves being really common do put at least a little bit of a damper on how good PORYGON2 can be, and maybe keep it from being banned. I don't know. But anyhow, as I look at my opponent's team, he doesn't really have a great way to stop Crobat from pivoting. Unfortunately, he has this Pokemon. Escavalier is still stupidly good, and I don't really know what to go into, so I'm just gonna hope. Alright, that works. That works. Can I just Toxic here? Am I allowed to go for Toxic just immediately versus this? This is a Steel type. Is he going to predict me to just Toxic here? I don't know. I feel like Gastro or Drampa, though, comes in, right? Gastron because you want to avoid a Scald, or Drampa because you just go, oh look, a Vaporeon? What's this going to do to me? I think Vaporeon's also a godsend for the tier, by the way. It still wins a lot of games late, because if you can't break the Vapo, it's going to keep using Wish. It's going to poison your whole team. And it's going to throw out those Scalds repeatedly and just kind of chip away until you have nothing left. And I also think Vaporeon's just super good at supporting Pokemon like, say, PORYGON2, or like Rhydon, or Alolan Eggy / Drampa, those kinds of Pokemon that want to come in pretty frequently, but don't have recovery of their own via item. And yeah, as we do end up getting this read, I'll go P2 here. Owie! That hurt! Yo, I got the Berserk. Hold on, that's actually kind of funny. Yeah, as you can see there, PORYGON2 absolutely chewing it up. He goes for Ice Punch. That's Scarf. That is a very scarfed amount of damage right there. So I'm gonna go right back into my Vapo. I'm gonna go for Wish, and then I'm gonna Toxic the Mesprit as well. Yeah. I thought maybe he would go for Stealth Rock there, which is why I did stay in so haphazardly. I go? I don't want to give the S-Scav a free switch in. I guess we could just Scald. Oh, I see. He went for Plus. We're going to Wish again. And we're just going to hope that he does not do too much. Yes. So doing too much, what that would have entailed is a para pretty much. Alright, he goes back to Drampa. I'm okay with this. As for Thunderbolt, this is a free Rhydon. So I know you're Scarfed. Do I just stay in and Earthquake you? I think I do. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what my opponent was expecting to happen there. He looks at the Drampa. Are you timid? I'm setting rocks. That's okay. Well, goodbye. Also, high key. Look at Sneasel. I really have been liking Swords Dance on Sneasel. I think this mon is super good. Let me just Ice Beam here. And we can do absolutely nothing. Great. Fortunately, we dodge a Mega Horn. Alright, let's see what this does. Oh, just a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much. They go Drampa here. Again, it's like, I don't care at all. I've got an Alolan Executor. And I'm gonna Flamethrower here, because I don't care. You know? So if he roosts, he's gonna... I'll go Sneasel here. Yo, this man went for Brave Bird there. I think that's a really weird time to do that. But it worked. Like, really well. The thing is now, right? He doesn't have a Golbat anymore. Yeah, you don't have a Golbat anymore. Yeah, Yeah, so you don't have a Golbat. My opponent did not get the message first time. I'm faster. I'm not sure why he said... Leave a like for Alolan Executor putting the fear of God into my opponent, causing him to Death Fodder off a multitude of Pokemon in a row. I mean, look, Alolan Executor, it's a pretty scary Pokemon. I could imagine maybe not knowing what to do versus it. And I do think that Crobat being in the tier kind of shows why Golbat's always had some issues really getting that, like, firm spot in the tier. It's not that Golbat's, like, been bad. It's just, despite how pretty bulky it is, hazard damage sucks. And even a neutral move from a Pokemon that you can sort of switch into, like Alolan Executor, still does a lot. And it forces you to use Roost a lot. So Golbat's issue a lot of the time has been, you gotta keep hazards off the field, right? And you have to find some way to not just seed insane amounts of momentum to your opponent. And at times that can be hard. As I look at my opponent's team, I see Sneasel food, kind of. It depends. I need to get a few things on his team chipped. But after a Swords Dance, it's looking pretty good. Rocks being up, I mean, they're kind of hard to get up this game. But what I do like about my opponent's team is he has nothing that really takes Draco Meteor consistently. So I'm just going to lead off with this. Yeah, so my opponent led off with the one Pokemon I didn't want him to. He's U-turning. I don't care. You're U-turning. You're U-turning. I know it. I know it's happening. You see that? Yes! He sees the Rhydon. He's going for that U-turn. It give me. Look at that damage. Oh, that's beautiful chip. Who do I go with? I think I go Crobat. Yeah, I don't know. Centiskorch is really annoying. I think it's a little bit difficult to build around. It's just kind of awkward with what it gives a team, I feel. But, at the same time, I don't think it's the worst mon to try to figure out how to use. And right here, I guess we set rocks. He might go into Eggy. He might go into Claydol and just try to spin immediately. If he goes Claydol, that's fine. I don't really care. I'll go Vaporeon here. I kind of want to try Flip Turn of Vaporeon eventually. Do I just... I mean, this is a free Toxic, is it not? You're not staying in here. He's staying in. So you're not staying in a second time. What if he's Port? Yeah. Well, I guess he's gonna... Yeah, he's just gonna go for the stupid move here. I hate that move so much. But I could stay in and just Toxic again, so it doesn't matter. You know? And the only thing for me dealing with Lantern is it is fast enough. I wanted to hit that Toxic. I'll Scald here just in case he tweaks and goes Crobat. So his last, I guess he's non-toxic on this. Okay, that's cool. U-turn, Brave Bird, Roost. What's your last move? Toxic? Defog? I don't think you'd be Defog if you're showing Claydol has that. I'll Scald again. Yeah. So, we can go for Wish here pretty safely now. And I'll just go to my own Crobat. And I'll defog his hazards away. I don't know what your last move is. Is it Toxic? I think you would have gone for it versus my Vaporeon. So maybe he's got double removal, which it's valid enough, I suppose. And this is just U-turn chip. And it's also free Sneasel. And this is also a free knock. So I can get Sneasel in here to start doing what I need it to do to win me the game. He might not think I'm choiced. There we go. We get rid of the Crobat. Cool. I do notice a lot of issues that I brought up with Swords Dance Sneasel back when it was originally in the tier kind of do still exist to varying degrees. Why? 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 No, but really, why? What was the point? Give me that back. I want it back. I'm gonna port here. I really don't think he can hit me. I don't know what his set is. I want to go into Eggy so badly, and yet I know it's slower. And yet it doesn't change my desire to just hard into it. I'm gonna Toxic here. If he goes Eggy, I want to at least be able to get that off. Yeah. I think Ice Beam's also fine on Vapo last. Just for what it's worth. He's gonna Draco here, and I'm going to faint when he does it. When he goes for Draco, I don't... Oh, he Leaf Stormed? Oh, say less. I mean, that hurts. Don't get me wrong. That hurt a lot. I'm gonna Roost. I can Roost again as well. Yep, in the Volt. I go Sneasel here. But, as I was saying, the issue that I still do notice is Sneasel's still kind of weak. Also, he's gonna Psychic here. He is Port. What your last move is Psychic, right? I don't really know. I'm kind of confused. God, though. Look, Eggy is kind of worthless if I could ever get it in versus the Tomb. You know? Well, maybe I could bring it in versus Claydol just fine. You know? I could knock here. Be kind of worthless. Unfortunately, they do go for Heal Bell again. I'm gonna Wish, because Volt Switch does not threaten me enough. I'm almost... Do I go for a game if I can get Sneasel in versus Eggy? Like after a Draco or something? I don't think that's worth it. I think it's still kind of a bad play. I can KO Scorch obviously from that range. He goes for Giga Drain. That's free Crobat. And I'm gonna U-turn here. If he stays in, I go my own Eggy on his Giga Drain. Man, I hate that this Mon is like guaranteed going to be faster than my Eggy. Like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to chip away at this. I'm just gonna go for a Toxic here. But I want to find the best way to chip away at the Lantern, because I think this is the biggest thing stopping Sneasel. Because it's just not... It's not strong enough, even at +2, I think, to Oko. Maybe take it out from 87. I'm trying to at least get some damage on this as we go along. And I'm going to go Eggy here, and I'm... You know... We're speed tying more than likely. I'm going to go for Giga Drain. As this maybe forces a double down between the Eggies, and I'm not against that. I mean, sure. Getting rid of that. He goes Spiritomb. You're slower than me. So I lied. You're faster than me because you have that. I can defog here, I guess. Yeah, I want to defog. I thought Wisp would come out, or something along those lines. So what's your last move? I don't don't know what to make of this. Gives me an Eviolite. Okay. I mean, like, does that really do anything for you? Oh, he's Poltergeist. I see. I see. He had to give me the items he could even do anything back. It's kind of funny. So we're gonna port here. I'm just trying to somehow get some momentum right now, you know? Because again, the Lantern's kind of annoying. I mean, if I think Lantern's coming, I could go for Toxic, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. I need to get rid of this thing's lefties. Otherwise, I am never beating it. I need to be able to make it so I can just, like, chip away at it. There. Yo. Do I go... 2 more Nox KOs this, but it also would put me in, like, tomb range. He volted. I'm a little surprised by the volt there, but fortunately, even if Eggy comes out, it's just gonna faint in 2 turns. So he teched. He might try to steal my item. Like, I don't want to see what he's going for at first. As he doubles back to the Lantern, this isn't really a big deal for me. I'm surprised he's not heal belling ever, because Eggy feints, you know. And he is going to try to polter me. Okay, cool. I'm not okay if he takes lefties. I don't want him to. Because, yeah, he might try to do that here. I'll Toxic. If we could just try to force Lantern back in at any point to get damage off somehow. And yeah, so now he doesn't touch me. So we're actually going to Toxic again. As the Lantern comes out. And this gives me more chip. Because we know he has to heal bell here. Why? No, but really, why? He's water. Why? What's the reason? No, really, please tell me. What is the reason? Because I don't see one. You know? I'm going for game, by the way. I'm going for game. Oh, that could have been really bad. That could have been really bad if he got the burn. Oh, that's good for me. That's really good for me. And as he goes Spiritomb here, I ask myself, is it worth going for the burn, or do I just knock? I think we know the answer. It's, oh, I got the crit. Okay, well, GG. Yeah. That crit definitely, like, made the end sequence very arbitrary for me. He actually was in a pretty good position to win. Just because the Lantern had every coverage move it needed. Why was he that? I hate Water Absorb Lantern. Why? Why do people use it? It's not even like... It's not even objectively bad if you feel you have a good enough matchup. I'm really trying to excuse. I think it's objectively bad. I think Lantern is one of the best electric amines in the tier because the electric types just can't beat it reliably, and you get just you get a significantly large amount of free switch-ins, I feel, versus the electric types than you do versus water types. I think even if you have heal bell, it's not a particularly reliable way of constantly dealing with water types, because the best you're doing, especially with that guy's set, is volt switching out. And so something like a Vaporeon or a Jellicent is just going to keep recovering. And something like a Vaporeon's even more annoying to deal with because of Protect. So, I don't know. I think it's a little silly. My opponent has a Carbink and an Aggron, so I'm assuming this is Choice Banded Aggron, and that it's going to hurt. But, and this is a big but, assuming this is not Silvally Grass or like Silvally Flying, I think Rhydon just sort of beats my opponent. Yeah, I mean, I think my Breaker's really good this game. I have to get rid of the Carbink for Sneasel to sweep. This got Body Press this generation. And so it's actually Carbink is unironically a half decent Pokemon. I say half decent. We must still temper expectations with something as weird as Carbink. I want to risk this speed, not speed. I want to risk this being Life Orb Glade and Brave Bird. But I'm a pussy, so I'm still doing this. And from him doing that, what I think we have revealed is that he is in fact Life Orb Glade. Well, yes, keep double switching around. It'll do something for you eventually. I think every double switch needs to have a reason. I can't see the reason there. What was I bringing out versus that? Is this Custap? I'm going to Stealth Route because I think it might be Custap. I don't know. I'm also kind of just confused by them staying in. But it does make me think that he doesn't have an actual resist to ground. Also, Vaporeon being back is very, very nice for dealing with Clawitzer. It's an okay check. He has Sludge Bomb. That's annoying because Sludge Wave would have still been annoying as well. It's just the poison chance, man. Please, are you Custap Berry? I don't know. I really am confused. What is he? He's not, but he is Explosion. Okay. Then why is he no item? Are you Sash with Clear Body? Maybe. Are you Mental Herb so you can't be taunted? I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to rationalize somehow in my head why he wouldn't be lefties on Carbink. And I can't figure out a reason because he wasn't even Shuckaberry, you know? And I feel like on his team even he would need to be Shuka just to have that little extra insurance. I don't know though. You guys still like Ghost. This is a problem. Is it? No, but really, is it? Well, it's not a problem here. And if we get the burn on the first Scald, it's very much not a problem. And yeah, my opponent forfeits. And I think I'm going to end the live here. I know it's on the shorter end. But listen, man, I think this live did a pretty good job of showing some of the stuff I wanted to show. And I feel like, I don't know, I kind of commented this live a little bit differently than I normally would. I didn't go through my thought process on like every turn. I tried to just have this be a nice succinct narrative, which I kind of enjoyed, so I don't know. But things that I want to mention just about the meta at this juncture. I don't know. I don't speak English. But I think nothing in the tier is objectively like broken right now. That's been my one take. I believe there are certain Pokemon that you can very much point to as like top of the tier. Some of those would be like PORYGON2, Sneasel, Centiskorch to some degree. Again, it's a weird mon in my eyes that I don't have a great way to comment on. I think Centiskorch is really good regardless. I think the dragons that we got, Eggy and Drampa, still super good. Crobat, I don't know how it ended up NU, but for like the 2 weeks that we're having it, I think it's super good. Not broken. Some people wanted to make that claim on like the first day or two. I never really felt that way. I still don't. I just think it's a really good utility Pokemon with some offensive sets that are not bad. What else have I thought is really good? I actually haven't seen any Toxicroak early, and I think that's partly because Crobat just kind of says fuck off. I think maybe like Scarf sets with Stone Edge right now might be the play. Vaporeon as well, obviously. If you'll notice, a lot of the Pokemon on this team I've noted as being really good. I also think Rhydon is actually a Pokemon again. You know, no more Mudsdale, and no, like, fossils even. I guess there's Arctivish, but I really haven't seen any Arctivish plus Aurorus running around. At least not on a consistent basis. So, I'm willing to give Rhydon a lot more, you know, credence as an option now. But actually, unironically, this could go down as the best period of NU this gen. At least the most balanced, right? And I do believe part of it's because everything's super in flux. I think the one thing that I would justify maybe is like needing addressing, or maybe just even, you know, address as a possibility for looking at for testing is Aurora Veil. I haven't seen it too much. I used it once and I lost, but I'm willing to blame that on the team I used being not the greatest example of the abusers you should use for Aurora Veil. But this is something that I've noted before throughout the tier. Last time someone brought Aurora Veil, I noted how Veil was definitely something we should keep an eye on. This would have been like 2 months ago, because the setup mons we had were finally not things like Cling Clang. You know, we were starting to get good, at least at the time, good options. Now we have great options. We have Nasty Plot Mesprit. We have Shell Smash Turtonator. We've got, you know, Plot Croak again, or Swords Dance Croak, if you like that. We've got still some of the Swords Dance Sylvalies. Some of them aren't too bad. I think Double Dance Rhydon's good. Let me just look at the tier. Ignore that terrible team. I hate OU. I'm bad at it, please. Haunter could probably be okay on Hyper Offense if you really needed to like run Scarf Haunter. I think Tauros is pretty good as well on Aurora Veil. Just because Work Up Tauros hits super hard. But we have a lot of actual options now. And I do think that it might be worth looking at in the future. I don't know. Anyhow, guys, thank you for watching. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, you know, leave a like, leave a comment telling me what you liked. Subscribe if you haven't already. Still trying to hit 250 by the end of the year. It's a long shot, but hey, I'm all about the grind. Take care, y'all. See you next time. Peace.